this video, we'll discuss eco-friendly sound insulation. But before we get to that, let's try to discuss why we need sound insulation in the first place. Let's say you're a YouTuber and you're trying to record your YouTube video. While there's someone on the road, maybe in a procession or selling vegetables, and you don't want that sound to get recorded in your video. So what you want is that no outside sounds should enter your house. The second thing you're struggling with is when you talk, the sound gets reflected off the walls and that creates an echo. You don't want that either. How do you deal with this problem? What you need to do is you need to line the walls and maybe the roof of your house with some material that absorbs sound. So what you want is sound should get absorbed. Now, this is usually done by lining the walls with polystyrene or mineral wool. Both of these materials are pretty good at absorbing sound, but they have a few problems. They cause pollution. You can look at this guy. He's wearing a mask while installing mineral wool. Why is that? The fibers of mineral wool can cause trouble to your lungs. The other issue is that this stuff is non-biodegradable. Both of these materials, if are discarded, can cause harm to the environment. The third point is applicable for polystyrene. It's carcinogenic. It can cause cancer. Right? So because of these problems, we want eco-friendly alternatives for sound insulation. The first alternative we'll look at is sheep's wool. Sheep's wool can be turned into something like this, which is very useful for sound insulation. So here's the manufacturing process. Step 1, the wool is washed, and then after that all the fibers are combed and separated, and then they're stitched together in an orderly way. What are the properties of sheep wool? It's 100% biodegradable, so that's really good news. It does not harm the environment in case you need to discard it. It's also a very good insulator. It's a good insulator of sound. 90% of sound is absorbed. It's also a good insulator of heat. That means it'll keep your house warm in the winter and it'll keep your house cool in the summer. The other thing with sheep wool is that it's flexible and it's easy to install because of that. So you can wrap it around a pipe, you can stuff it into a corner. Very easy to work with for a construction worker. It also absorbs moisture in the air. So that's another point which is helpful. It's like a dehumidifier. Last point, it does not catch fire easily. So sheep wool literally ticks every box out there and it's like a perfect product. Next, we've got hemp. The hemp plant, the stalk of the hemp plant can be used to make something like this, like bricks, which are pretty useful in construction. These bricks are called hempcrete. The manufacturing process of hempcrete is like this. The fibers are separated and then they are compressed into blocks. They usually put into molds and then fit into different shapes. So let's look at the properties of hempcrete. Again, 100% biodegradable. Not just that, it can be put into a compost pit and you can make manure out of it. It can be used to build walls, unlike sheep wool. Sheep wool can be used only to line on the walls, right? This can be used to build walls. There are a few downsides though. Hempcrete just produces 70% sound insulation. Now, while this may seem lower than sheep wool, it's way better than concrete. Concrete has just 5% insulation, but it's not the best sound insulator out there. The other negative point is that it catches fire easily, so one's got to be a little careful while using this. The next eco-friendly alternative is recycled cotton textile. We often wear cotton clothes and then at some point they tear apart and we just can't do anything with it. At that point, these cotton clothes can be turned into something like this, which can be used for sound insulation. Let's look at the manufacturing process. Step 1, wash the clothes, right? You don't want dirty clothes. Step 2, remove all the metal parts, right? Like, for example, if you have a zip or you have a button or you have rivets, remove all of them. And then the fibers are separated so that they can be rolled up into a sheet like this. This sheet is then used for sound insulation. Let's look at the properties of recycled cotton textile. Like all the other options, these are 100% biodegradable. They are already recycled and they can be recycled again as well. So that's like a huge plus point. The other thing is that these provide very good sound insulation, excellent sound insulation, almost 100% sound insulation. They also provide good heat insulation, just like sheep wool. And they don't catch fire. Again, another product that just ticks every box out there. The next alternative we have is cellulose. Cellulose is made out of recycled paper and cardboard. So all our paper waste can be turned into sound insulating material like this. What's the manufacturing process? Here's how it goes. First, we need to wash off all the ink from all the paper. After that, what we do is we remove all the staples if there's any, and then we shred this paper and cardboard into small pieces, add some glue and chemicals, and stick it up together to form these boards. Now these boards can be used for sound insulation. What are the properties? Let's go through them. Just like all of the others on this list, this is 100% biodegradable. Just like the recycled cotton textile, this one is already recycled and can be recycled again, right? Huge plus point. Provides excellent sound insulation, almost 100%, just like cotton textile, and is economical. There is one downside though, this can catch fire if not treated with chemicals during the manufacturing process. Let's come to our last eco-friendly sound insulation alternative, and that's cork. Cork looks like this, and I'm pretty sure you would have seen cork somewhere or the other, maybe on some kind of notice board where stuff is pinned up, or maybe in construction. Let's see how this is actually produced. Cork comes from the cork oak tree, and this is how the tree looks. Let's get to the manufacturing process. The bark of the tree is removed. The interesting part is that there's no cutting of trees involved in this process. Only the bark is removed, and the bark grows back in 5 or 7 years and can be harvested again. So this bark, the bark portion, is then compressed and it's turned into boards like these. Cork boards are strong, and because of the strength, they can be used for flooring. None of the previous, eco-friendly alternatives that we had talked about can be used for flooring, while this one can be used. Another unique point is that this is waterproof. So it's like the perfect thing you want to use for flooring. What if you spilt water on the floor? If you'd use some other material, it may seep through. With cork, you're sorted. It's also a fire retardant, so you can rest assured that it won't cause issues in case there's a fire. On the downside though, it's only 40% sound absorbing. So when it comes to using cork for walls, it's not that great an idea because you have better alternatives. But for flooring, in this entire list, cork is the best. Okay, so we could discuss a few eco-friendly alternatives for sound insulation. That's it for this video.